They're completely different vehicles night and day. The C450 puts you in go mode. In the morning, it's almost enough to wake you up without coffee. It's really that type of experience to get your heart going. All right, maybe I'm getting a little too excited, but that's how the car is. It's exciting, it's intense. With the handling is unbelievable. Okay, so here's the deal after owning the C300 after 6 months. Okay, so first of all, the gas mileage will let you go across the country and back. On the highway, you're gonna average around 33 to 35 miles per gallon. City, that's going to be a little bit closer to the 25-ish miles per gallon range, and that's even with driving the car hard. If you want to go anywhere with that little 4-cylinder engine, you're going to be in Sport Plus mode. The only problem with Sport Plus mode is the shifts are very weird. The transmission is trying to create a sportier feel by shifting weird through third and fourth was weird, and first and second was weird. The other gears were a little bit more smooth. I feel like if they had made the shifting not so much of a flaw, then the Sport Plus would have worked. Sport Plus is the only mode you're going to be in if you're going anywhere. If we're comparing C450 and C300, the only reason why you're gonna like a C300 is if it's in Sport Plus. Because if it's in comfort mode or eco mode, that car will not move, it refuses to go. But the miles per gallon are so good that for the first couple months, you're like, hey, you know what, it's all good. It's all good. I'm out here spending little to nothing on the car. But then the spending, okay, rolling right into the spending, it's a non-AMG car, so you're gonna get hit with a decent amount of depreciation. AMGs hold their value a little bit better. That is a general rule of thumb when you're looking up Benzes. Rolling right into the look of the C300. To the normal person, no one's gonna know the difference between a 450, 43, maybe a 63, just because of the flares, the hood, and the overall aggression of the vehicle. As far as styling goes, maybe the sound people would notice, but to the normal person, no one knows the difference between any of the C classes. So from the look side of the car, it's beautiful. I love the way the C300 worked. Obviously, it worked great in commercial work because those are the B-roll clips that you guys are seeing. As far as the looks go, definitely that hits a check mark. Love the look of the vehicle. It does everything and more than I needed it to. The space, trunk space is huge. The leg room in the back is huge. Everything is great for a sedan. The livability of the car, be very careful if you're looking at these cars for the air conditioner issue. If you finish driving the vehicle after using the air conditioning, you wait about 20-30 minutes, you get back in the vehicle, it's gonna be like this weird musty smell. That was an issue with the C300. Again, like it's gone in about 4 minutes after driving the car, but it's enough to where if people are in the car, they're gonna say, hey, what's that? It's enough of an issue to where people ask about it. But again, livability wise, it's something you can deal with because the smell goes away in about 5 minutes. So not a huge deal, but that car had it. The C450 has it. The GLK 350 that I owned before C4 had that. So that's a big thing with Benzes that you need to watch out for. That's something that you're gonna need to be very careful when you're driving the car. If you're at a dealership test driving it, I would get out of the car, let it sit, go inside, maybe drive another car, and then go back to the original one, pump the air conditioning, and see if it has the smell. Very important. Or that's something you're going to be living with for the remainder of the car, because changing the air filter out isn't going to save it, because it's an internal issue with the vehicle. It's just going to happen to the next filter that you get, and even when they do that whole cleaning, it's just going to happen again. So some cars have it, but just be careful when you're figuring out which car is about to be yours. So the handling of the car when you're in Sport Plus mode is interesting. So the tires that these cars come with are phenomenal. The Continentals have amazing handling. They were the tires that came with the C450. I loved them. They do great as far as handling. They don't last long, but they do great as far as handling goes. They're extended mobility tires. They're not run flats. That's a very important difference. They're very similar. However, very important difference is the amount of miles that you can drive after a puncture to the tire. But the body roll of the C300, you're basically on a ship going back and forth like this as you're trying to make decently aggressive turns, but you're rolling all over the place, so you don't realize how good your tires were that came with the car. The C450 is extremely planted. Obviously, it has the adjustable dampening as well of the suspension, which I always have in Sport Plus. So it's in its most stiff suspension setting. I wish that the 300 could have had that. The 300 would have been a completely different driving vehicle if it had had the adjustable dampening of the suspension, completely different. But that's not the point of the car. It's to be a relaxing car that you're getting from point A to point B. That is the car. Point A to point B. Simple as that. And to look good while doing it. It won't last for any driver of a C450, 43, even in long highway commutes. It's not going to work either, because when you're trying to drive on the highway and you need to hit it to get around a car, you're not going to be able to, because the car's in comfort mode or it's in Sport Plus, and even if it's in Sport Plus, it's not going to be able to go to the speed that you're used to in your other car. So the benefits of the gas mileage are outweighed by the lack of aggression that the car has. The car lasted 6 months. So for anybody that's been listening to the engine note of what I'm driving right now, it's what got purchased while trading in the C300. So I'm gonna be doing first impressions of this car. Not gonna say what it is, probably obvious what it is, but first impressions, a ton of modifications with this car, some of which I've already started on because I couldn't help myself, because I'm pretty much going to leave this car untouched, from the wrap to the suspension to the exhaust to the tuning. I'm going to touch everything in this car. It's very important to me to be able to make this one my own. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions at all, comment down below. If you have any opinions, anything you want to get off your chest, comment that down below. I want to hear it. I try to answer them all. Please feel free. Don't hold back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Can't wait for the next one.